Welcome everyone! In this video, we are in the Halloween Cup, showcasing some more fun battles featuring Galvantula! Galvantula is not used very often in this Halloween Cup meta, but my goodness, it has a lot of solid play. And the reason why is because there are dark types, of course, in the Halloween Cup running rampant. And Galvantula being a bug type and having access to lunge can really put in the work on the dark types. Also handles the flyers quite well, so it will be on the lead along with Sableye on the safe swap. I just cannot get enough of Sableye. It is amazing, and even in a specialty cup like the Halloween Cup is proving to be the best safe swap option you can go with. So of course it's going to be on the safe swap, and also alongside Cofagrigus in the back to bring it home for you. Cofagrigus really has the bulk to perform well in the in-game scenarios and can absolutely close a game strong with those hard-hitting shadow balls. But before we dive into the featured set of the video, we are starting things off with some bonus battles that I thought were tons of fun. Neutral League gonna swap into Sableye, hoping to draw out a bulky dark type, and here we are. We are faced with one right here in the form of Umbreon. Now, I often get a lot of comments asking about whether you should build the XL Sableye or just go with the Hundo non-XL. I'm going to show you guys why XL Sableye might be the way to go, guys. We do get off that big return. They do tank it, of course. And the beauty of XL Sableye is that we can tank two of these foul plays from Umbreon and get off another return. They usually tank both returns, banking on the fact that they will leave this matchup with low health, less farm, and that they will win switch. But XL Sableye says not today, guys. I'm going to show you guys why. Because you can play out the one shield with Umbreon. It may come down to IVs, but I find that more often than not, we can play out this one shield and Shadow Claw the dark type down and leave this matchup flip switch with Sableye. And if that doesn't answer the questions on should you go XL or not, I don't know what will. I don't think non-XL Sableye would have been able to pull that off, but here we are, guys. Flipping switch, controlling the alignment. That's the key to most of these specialty cups where you have a limited meta. And they have a Toxapex in the back. Holy smokes, guys. It is Galvantula time if I've ever seen it. This is why Galvantula can be so powerful in this meta. Gonna get off this discharge, and oh, that does a lot of damage to, I think, the bulkiest Pokemon in this meta. I'm pretty safe and confident in saying that. They go Sludge Wave. That is fine. It is Cofagrigus time. I think it's time for Cofagrigus to bring this thing home for us, guys. Gonna go for the Dark Pulse. Even in this meta, I still like Dark Pulse because it is less energy. And when you need to get off some damage in a pinch, having a lower cost energy move, I think is quite beneficial. We are just about to Shadow Claw this thing down, and we are loaded on energy, guys. One last ditched effort to throw this Wormadam trash in here, but it's going to just catch all this heavy damage from Cofagrigus as it can really put in the work. As I mentioned at the beginning, it has the bulk to perform beautifully in these no shield scenarios, as it just wrecks house and goes on an absolute rampage to close it strong. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Cofagrigus doing what it does best, and that is close a game strong. And here we go. Another Wormadam trash lead. This is a neutral lead, so going to go into Sableye and hopefully draw out another dark type so that our Cofagrigus doesn't have to see it, and we do. This time it comes in the form of a Shadow Drapion. So gonna play this out wisely here. We do tank a crunch, no problem. And we do have the energy lead on this Drapion here, and it is a shadow, so we're gonna force them to shield here, guys. In its shadow form, they cannot afford to tank a massive return from Sableye, and we are playing to that here, guys. So we are gonna bait yet again. I would imagine they really want to flip switch advantage here. Not sure what else they could have in the back, but like I said, in these specialty cups, controlling the alignment can make or break a battle here. So we're playing out the 2 shield here, knowing full and well that they do have to shield, and they panic swap back into that Wormadam trash. We don't really want Galvantula on Wormadam because that confusion damage is too heavy for our Galvantula, which is not known for its bulk. Cofagrigus can definitely hold up to the confusion damage much better. And they go Bug Buzz, not gonna cut it. That's resisted with our ghost typing. And we are just gonna put this poor Wormadam trash out of its misery. With a Dark Pulse, we definitely do not need a Shadow Ball to take that thing out. And they've got another Toxapex in the back, so very similar team to the first one. The only difference is they had Umbreon in the first one and Drapion in this one. But it does not matter. Going to hit this thing with a Shadow Ball. Shields are down. This is getting a little sweaty here. Galvantula with no shields is not the happiest, but I'm thinking we can do okay. They do take us out with a brine. Calculating, contemplating, gonna throw our Galvantula in, draw back out that Drapion. We had loaded energy, and we go for the massive return on the Drapion. I think maybe, I think we definitely needed the return from that health range. Gonna try our very best to get to a foul play. We just can't quite get to it. That's not good. Like I said, Galvantula with no shields is not a happy Galvantula, but Toxapex does not hit particularly hard. Holy smokes, how demoralizing must that be? Throwing a massive Sludge Wave with Stab and not being able to take out one of the squishier Pokemon. That's quite unfortunate for them, but my goodness, Galvantula takes it in the end. That's going to be yet another good game, well played. Oh, that was a very unhappy Toxapex not being able to KO our Galvantula, but we press on, and we are faced with a Frostlass. We have 2 excellent answers to this in the back. 2 Shadow Claw users for the Frostlass leads, and they meet us with a Galarian Weezing. So, gonna full send a massive return. They may think that we're baiting with resist damage, but they shield. They call it correctly. My goodness, that's an amazing shield from this Galarian Weezing. And we do shield up a Sludge. That is quite unfortunate because that's resisted. So I presume they're running Sludge Overheat, so we will shield up that massive Overheat. That's a good shield from us there, and just going to go straight foul play from here on out. These Shadow Claws are absolutely shredding, and a resistant foul play should be more than enough. This is another Overheat. Another reason why XL Sableye may be the way to go, because we hang on by a thread long enough to get to this foul play, which will not only allow us to flip switch, but to also say bye-bye to the Galarian Weezing. Sableye is amazing, and they've got that Frostlass back in. We go into Drapion, and we draw out we go into Cofagrigus, and they go into Drapion. And this is not good. We don't have any shields, and we do take massive, super effective damage from those crunches. But my goodness, does this resisted Shadow Ball do quite a bit of damage to the Drapion. And I don't think they're going to let us make it to another one. They're going to throw just as we get to our next Shadow Ball, and that is fine. The play here now is to go for the most ambitious of farm downs on this Drapion. We know that we tank a crunch, but we need 2 discharges to take out that Frostlass. So we're going to try our very best. These Volt Switches are chunking, and we are 1 Volt Switch off from the back-to-back. We go for discharge number 1, does loads of damage, and we get to discharge number 2. And the beauty of Galvantula is it wins CMP a lot, which means we're saying bye-bye to the Frostlass, and we're farming down the Drapion. Galvantula taking full control of that endgame and closing it strong with low HP, I must say. That's going to be yet another good game, well played. Had a blast with those bonus battles. As we move into the featured set of the video, we are met with a Toxicroak on the lead. So we do resist this fast move pressure, so we will stay in here a little bit and look to get off a massive discharge, but they get to the Mud Bomb and trigger the CMP tie. We're going to let this go. We definitely tank it. It hurts a little bit because, like I said, Galvantula is not known for its bulk, but we can either pressure a shield or do heavy damage to the Toxic Croak, and my goodness, we win lead. And now we will see what they have left in the back here. They are thinking long and hard. It's a Scizor. So another reason why Galvantula is quite nice in this meta, because a lot of people love running these Scizors, which run Bullet Punch. And with our electric typing, we resist that damage. And we draw out an Umbreon as we go into our Sableye. Like I said, they always tank the return just because they know that they can. But you know what, guys? Rank 1 XL Sableye definitely tanks a foul play, no problem, from Umbreon, which does not hit particularly hard. And this Umbreon is bad news for our Cofagrigus in the back. It's actually a nightmare for Cofagrigus because everything is resisted. Umbreon absolutely hardwalls Cofagrigus. So, gonna do our very best to take it out while we can, and we do. They let that go. They did not know what we had in the back. Putting all the hope and faith in this squishy Scizor to bring it home for them. I don't think they can. They did not know we had a Cofagrigus lurking in the back. Just going to throw Galvantula in to try and maybe get to a move, but mostly to just chunk with Volt Switches. And now the damage has been done. And like I said at the very beginning of this video, Cofagrigus has the bulk to perform beautifully in these in-game scenarios. They are at a back-to-back, and they are absolutely loaded, so we knew that we would have to shield one of these super effective Night Slashes, but again, Cofagrigus has the bulk. We get a Shadow Claw through, taking it out, and closing it strong yet again with our Cofagrigus. It was amazing. That's going to be yet another good game. Well played. My goodness, can Cofagrigus close a game strong? This thing is amazing. And speaking of Cofagrigus, we've got one on the lead. So going to try our best to go into Sableye, but we get lag, which doesn't allow us to go into Sableye, which gives this Cofagrigus an energy lead on our Sableye. And they're taking full advantage of that. Going to go for that massive Shadow Ball. And we do shield that up as they make a play into Toxic Croak. So this is not good, guys. We do lose this in the 1 to 2 shield, so we're going for the return, and they shield our return. My goodness. Not off to the best start in this battle. That lag was not good, guys, and I'm not going to lie, I was pretty tilted from that because it gave that Cofagrigus an unfair energy lead. If it would have allowed us to switch when we wanted to, we would have been a lot further ahead. And now we lose switch and are forced to throw our Galvantula back in here. Gonna let this go. We do not want to give them a shield advantage. We know that we tank a Mud Bomb, and they've got a Nidoqueen in the back. My goodness. Oh, everything that could go wrong in this battle was absolutely going wrong. Nidoqueen is an absolute nightmare for our Galvantula. The reason why is, of course, with its ground typing, it's resisting our fast move pressure. And this is awful because that Nidoqueen has loaded energy, and we absolutely have to shield everything from an opposing Cofagrigus. That would be lights out. Gonna go for the Dark Pulse here. Another reason why I prefer it. Gonna undercharge it because we want to get ahead on energy, but it does not matter because that Nidoqueen is absolutely loaded. And they're going right for that massive earth power with shields down. We're bulky, but not that bulky. It takes us out, and it is over. We should definitely top left here. There is nothing our Galvantula could possibly do against Nidoqueen. It is the worst matchup for Galvantula in this meta. And they're just gonna Poison Jab is down. That was a nightmare game for us. Lag did not help in the beginning, but good game, well played nonetheless. My goodness, guys, this Galvantula team was really putting in the work in the Halloween Cup, and definitely when you see a lead like this, guys, we got an Alolan Raticate on the lead. My goodness, that means that this thing is an absolute nightmare for our 2 ghost types in the back. So we will play out the 2 shield if necessary to take this thing out. This is why Galvantula is on this team, to protect our 2 ghost types. from these dark types. And this is probably one of the worst dark types you can see if you're running 2 ghost types in the back, because it triple resists our ghost type damage. Gonna go for lunge number 2, and we draw the second shield. That is amazing. So now, knowing that we have both their shields and have debuffed them twice, gonna tank that crunch, and they aggro swap into a Galarian Weezing. So gonna meet this with our Cofagrigus, of course. And the reason why is because you don't know if they're running Play Rough, and we definitely don't want to risk tanking that on our Sableye. So gonna go with the safe play and Cofagrigus. And we were daring them to debuff themselves. They baited with a sludge that was resisted. They do go for it there, but again, Cofagrigus with the bulk hangs on long enough. Get to the Shadow Ball. We're saying bye-bye to the Galarian Weezing. And they do still have that Raticate, which is quite healthy because they did go down 2 shields to preserve the health on it. So just going to go for these Dark Pulses. This is why I prefer Dark Pulse. It's single resisted on the Dark types, whereas Psychic would be double resisted. So it does help out for sure against these dark types, especially against a dark normal. You would be in some big trouble if you were running Psychic up against a dark normal type like this here. Gonna throw Sableye in here to really load up on energy. We do have a move stored on our Galvantula. And just going to shield this up and really, really load up on energy. We don't know what else they have in the back. They are fighting tooth and nail, but it will not work out because we are saying bye-bye to the Alolan Raticate. And oh my goodness, they've got a Salazzle in the back. Holy smokes. So those of you who often ask about the XL versus non-XL, I hope you're watching, because rank 1 XL Sableye hangs on long enough to get off this massive foul play. Non-XL Sableye is not hanging on, and 1 Volt Switch takes it out. 4-turn fast move versus a 5-turn fast move. We register first, taking the game. That's going to be a good game. Well played. Galvantula taking out the fire-type Salazzle to close it in. That last one was amazing. And speaking of Salazzle, we've got another one. So interesting. The minute we decide to run a bug type, we start seeing all these Salazzles coming out of the woodwork. I had not seen one at all before running Galvantula. Very interesting. But they're staying in a little bit. We go into Cofagrigus. I don't know why we did that, as Sableye is the dedicated safe swap, but Cofagrigus can still serve as a decent safe swap option. It's a little, it's not as safe as Sableye, obviously, with all the dark types, but we are met with a Fortress here, so this is fine. It does run Bug Bite, which means that we are resisting it with our Ghost typing. And we do have the shield advantage. Gonna preserve that shield advantage. They did tank our massive Shadow Ball, and they do take us out with Mirror Shot. Gonna overload by quite a bit on this Fortress here. They are doing neutral damage with their Bug Bites, but again, Galvantula with that electric typing is resisting the steel type damage, which allows us to farm it all the way down. We wanted to leave with loaded energy to really put the pressure on that squishy Salazzle. Second Salazzle in a row. Very interesting with Galvantula here. Gonna go for another discharge, and they shield. So we will shield up the Poison Fang. Not gonna let this energy lead go to waste here. And they catch it on a Mawile, but that's fine, guys. Mawile's made of paper. This is going to do loads of damage to the Mawile, and now it's Sableye time. All we have to do really is correctly shield up a potential Play Rough. Not concerned with the super effective fast move pressure, as it's not applying a lot at all. They do bait with an Iron Head, and definitely not going to let them hit us with a Play Rough. So we're going to put it out of its misery with a foul play as we say bye-bye to the Mawile. And we are 1 Shadow Claw off, which means that we make it to 2 Shadow Claws off. And we do get to the foul play. We're saying bye-bye to the Salazzle yet again. Salazzle 0-2 against our Galvantula team. Unfortunate, but good game. Well played nonetheless. I'm telling you, Galvantula on the lead was really putting in the work, but not when you're faced with something like this. My goodness, they're running Golurk in the Halloween Cup. Shouts to them. I've actually been wanting to run this thing, but just have not gotten around to it. That's a nightmare lead, of course, with the ground typing. So we're in on Sableye here, and they're staying in. But they catch. I forgot that they caught that. That's a slick catch by them. My goodness. Catching that on a Toxapex, but this is fine. We do have the energy lead, and we are resisting this fast food pressure with our ghost typing. So they're tanking all the damage known to man from Sableye, and I think that we do shield up the brine. It would not KO, but it would be getting us quite low, and we do have a foul play loaded, so we're not going to allow them to deny us this precious energy from Sableye. And they shield, so very interesting. We will not shield another brine here. Gonna let this go and then just look to get ahead on energy with our Galvantula. Seeing that they had a poison type in the back, we're quite confident in our Cofagrigus to really put in the work in the end game. Sableye put in quite a bit of work on this Golurk here. Gonna let this go, most likely just a Shadow Punch. We live that, no problem, and just gonna go for the resisted lunge here. This thing is kind of squishy, so we knew that it would do loads of resisted damage. They shield, so it's Cofagrigus time. And we did debuff them. We probably could have tanked this in hindsight, but better play it safe than sorry. And oh, they've got a Galvantula in there of their own in the pack. And like I said before, guys, Galvantula with no shields is a very unhappy Galvantula. They saw the writing on that wall, guys. We were going for that Shadow Ball. It was not going to happen for them as they top left. And that is the team, my friends. Good game, well played to our opponent. And holy smokes, this Galvantula team, my goodness, was not only a lot of fun, but was really, really putting in the work, guys. There are so many Toxapexes, so many flying types like Golbat and Mandibuzz. And of course, speaking of Mandibuzz, tons and tons of dark types, much like Mandibuzz. And Galvantula handles them beautifully. You don't see it too often in this meta, but it does qualify, and it absolutely puts in the work, guys. Handles the dark type beautifully, protects our two ghost types in the back from the dark types, and the ghost types are just here to wreak havoc and do lots of damage to everything in between. So that is a recipe for success, and guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching. Keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.